Good evening and welcome to the grammar video on active voice and parallel structure. Okay, so you should be watching this video if you are going into Honors Sophomore English. So if you're going to Honors Sophomore English, you should be watching this video and you should have already completed grammar videos 1 through 4. If you are not in Honors Sophomore English, you do not have to worry about this. Okay, so we went over this right before school was out. All right, for those of you who are just now switching into Honors English, if you have any questions or you need a more thorough explanation, please feel free to email me. I will be checking my email regularly and I will help you the best way I can. All right, so one thing that I want you guys to know by the time sophomore year starts is active voice versus passive voice. So as we talked about at the end of last year, so we have active voice versus passive voice. Active voice, okay, in active voice you have the subject doing the action. So in active voice, you have the subject performing the action. Okay, now surprise, surprise, I kind of copied this weirdly, so here's what we're going to do. You're going to take notes on this next page, and then you'll go back and do the problem. So sorry about how this is formatted. All right, so in active voice, the subject is what's doing the action. Okay, so here's something in passive voice. So in passive voice, let's say you have a sentence like, the cake was eaten by Sue. Okay, so here's an example of a sentence in passive voice. The cake was eaten by Sue. Okay, now notice in this sentence, cake is your subject. However, my action is eating. Notice in this sentence, but the cake is not what's doing the eating. Susie is what's doing the eating. But Susie's not my subject. So just to repeat myself, so in this sentence, we have the cake was eaten by Sue. Cake in this sentence is the subject, but however, cake is not what's doing the eating. It's not what's doing the action. So not doing the eating. Okay? So when you're writing something in active voice, you want the subject to be doing the eating. You want the subject to be doing the action. All right, so to rewrite this in active voice, you want to think to yourself, okay, who's actually eating something? Well, Sue's eating something. So if I want to rewrite it in active voice, Sue needs to be my subject. So in active voice, my sentence would be, Sue was eating the cake. Okay, you might ask yourself, what is the advantage of writing in active voice versus passive voice? One thing is, when you're writing an active voice, it's clear who the sentence is actually about. Number two, when you write an active voice, your sentences are automatically stronger and more. So they're stronger and they eliminate unnecessary words. So notice, the cake was eaten by Sue versus Sue was eating the cake. Sue was eating the cake's a lot cleaner and it eliminates unnecessary phrases. All right, and it usually makes for better sounding, more sophisticated writing. All right, so when you're writing, you want things written in active voice. In other words, in your sentences, you want the subject doing the action. Okay, let's try another example. So one example would be something like, the letter was mailed by Bob. Okay, again here, letter is my subject. However, letter is not what's doing the mailing. Letter is not what's doing the action. If I want to rewrite it in active voice, I need the person doing the action as my subject. So in this case, Bob is the person mailing the letter. So when I rewrite it in active voice, I want Bob to be my subject. So it should be Bob was mailing the letter. All right. Okay, so you have a couple of examples. If you don't completely have this down right now, that's okay. Mr. Jagels will pick up with it right when you begin honors English, and you'll be apply it more to your writing. So you're going to be rewriting the sentence using active voice, and you'll analyze the structure of the new sentence. Now, when you're rewriting the sentence using active voice, I'm going to give you a hint. You're actually going to have to make two changes. So notice you have a clause here, and you have an independent clause right here. For both of these clauses, you're going to have to change it to where it's an active voice. So you're going to have, so both of these clauses right now are in passive voice. So for the sentence, you're going to have to write each clause in active voice. So each clause needs to be an active voice because right now they're both in passive. Okay, same with this next sentence. The report would be reviewed by the supervisor before it is sent to the manager. So again, you have two clauses. Okay? Both of these needs to be revised. All right, so both of the clauses need to be revised in order to have both of them need to be written in active voice. So right now, both of these are in passive voice. In order to really make this an active voice, you need to revise both clauses. All right, that's just something I saw that you guys did on the final, so I thought I would give you a heads up. Okay, let's talk about parallel structure. That is the last thing we talked about before we left. Okay, so as usual, unfortunately, my formatting was off. So if you just want to go to this back blank page, we can talk about parallel structure there and just put parallel structure. Okay, this is something we also talked about, and again, we introduced it at the end of freshman year, but you'll really go more in depth into it sophomore year. So if you don't get it now, you'll definitely get it more within the first couple weeks of school. All right, so parallel structure. So first of all, parallel structure, if you're able to use parallel structure properly, it adds a lot of clarity to your writing. When you use parallel structure, you increase the readability of your writing by creating word patterns readers can easily follow. Okay, so first of all, you're asking yourself, okay, what is parallel structure? So parallel structure is the repetition of a chosen grammatical form within a sentence. Repetition of a chosen grammatical form within a sentence. Okay? So, what you want to look for is you want to look for parallel structure when you're using coordinating conjunctions. All right, so these things are best explained through examples. Okay, so when you connect two or more clauses with a coordinating conjunction, you want to make sure you use parallel structure. So for example, this is an example of something not parallel. My best friend took me dancing into a show. Okay? So my coordinating conjunction is and I'm connecting dancing and to a show together. Notice, though, these two do not have similar structures. They do not have parallel structures. If I wanted to write it in parallel, then I would revise it to my best friend took me dancing. So I'm just going to put ... took me dancing. I'm sorry. So if I wanted to change it to where they had similar structures, I would either have to change dancing or to a show. Now, it's going to be easier to change dancing, so I'm going to change dancing to a dance. And I'm going to keep to a show the way it is. And to a show. So now my sentence would read, my best friend took me to a dance and to a show. So notice, to a dance and to a show, they have similar patterns. They have parallel structure. All right. Okay, you also want to watch out for parallel structure whenever you're using correlative conjunctions. Whenever you're using correlative conjunctions. All right, so for example, not parallel would be my dog likes to play catch. Likes to play catch. So, I'm sorry, my dog not only, so here it is. Sorry about this. This is my first draft. So not parallel would be my dog not only likes to play catch, but also chase cars. Okay, so my correlative conjunctions not only and but, okay? So to play catch, it's connecting to play catch, and it's also joining chase cars. To play catch and chase cars are not parallel. So I would have to change one of them. All right, in this case, you can change either one. So if I wanted to write in parallel structure, my sentence would be, my dog not only likes to play catch, but also to chase cars. So I want to change chase cars to where it matches to play catch. I want to make sure that these two have similar patterns. So to write in parallel structure, it would be, my dog not only likes to play catch, but also to chase cars. Okay? All right, so let's just review. With parallel structure, you just want the phrases to have similar patterns. Okay, so let's look at some of these example problems. So in these example problems, what you're going to do is you're going to revise the following sentences so that they have parallel structure. So for instance, running, swimming, and going to the store are my favorite Saturday activities. Okay, you have running, you have swimming, and going to the store. Notice, so running and swimming match up, but going to the store is not parallel with running or swimming. So I'm going to have to change going to the store to where it has the same structure as running and swimming. Okay, so I'm looking for a one word. I'm looking for one word that has an ing at the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to shopping, because going to the store and shopping are the same thing. So now my sentence is, running, swimming, and shopping are my favorite Saturday activities. So see, now each of these items has a similar pattern, and so now my sentence has parallel structure. All right? You have a couple of sentences to do on your own. And again, if you were not in my advanced freshman composition and literature class last year, but you're in honors for the upcoming school year, if this is confusing to you, please feel free to email me and I will help you in any way I can. God bless you and have a good evening.